It's a weight, right? So we're going to test the dorsiflexors. So keep your knee still, and I want you to raise your foot toward the ceiling. So you look at that, and that appears to be pretty much the full available range of motion for dorsiflexion. I'm then going, so he gets a 3, F. I'm now going to apply the brake test. So I'm going to tell him, I'm going to try to push your foot back down to the floor. Don't let me. So I stabilize his lower leg, put my hand on top of his foot, and slowly begin to exert some force. Right? Start slowly. Let him feel the tension. And then, based on his size, age, body build, I'm going to apply the appropriate amount of force. Okay? So he gets a 5 or a 4. If he can't raise it up against gravity, you have to put it in the gravity eliminated position. So you got to slide all the way up so your foot's on the table and lay on your side. And actually a little bit further so your foot's on the table. So now you put him in a plantar flex position, and now see if you can dorsiflex. So now he gets a 2. Okay? If he can't move it, no matter where I put him in the plane, but I feel the intercompartment, I feel tension, but no movement, that's a 1. Trace. Everybody good? So now we'll do the plantar flexors. So you're going to lay on your stomach, flex your knee to 90, and now point your foot to the ceiling. Everybody agree? He's going through the full available range of motion against gravity. You apply the brake test. I'm going to try to push his foot back down, and he's either going to get a 5 or a 4. So in the lab exam, you don't have to do the pluses or the minuses, because then that adds more subjectivity. What your definition of heavy is and what the next person is of moderate, there's, variations from what one person thinks to the next. If you can't raise it up against gravity, so you gotta lay on your side again. Now you put him in a dorsiflex position, and now plantar flex. Now he gets a 2. If he still can't move it, I feel the posterior compartment muscles, gastrocnemius, soleus, I feel tension, but not enough to produce movement. That's a 1. Everybody good? Okay, lay on your stomach again. Hamstrings. I want you to flex your knee up to 90 degrees. So that's a 3. He can go further, but why don't I tell him to go further? Gravity's helping him. So I'm going to try to push your leg back down to the table. Don't let me. So let him feel your hand there, and let him begin to feel the tension, and then slowly pull the appropriate amount of force. He gets a 5 or a 4. If you can raise it up but no resistance, that's a 3. If you can't bring it up, so you got to lay on your side, just side down. And so now you start with your knee extended. Now see if you can flex. That's a 2. Right? No movement, but I feel tension in the hamstrings. That's a 1. So you can do the quads now. So the first thing, extend your leg all the way out. So I'm going to try to push your leg back into flexion. Don't let me. Is that the right thing to do? No, because when he extends his knee fully, what happens? The tibia externally rotates on the femur. That's called the screw-home mechanism, which in anatomy class, you should have learned that, right? When they talked about the knee joint. So the knee is more stable in terminal extension because the condyles of the femur, condyles of the tibia are not perfectly symmetrical. There's this locking mechanism. You're more stable in terminal complete extension. So I want to eliminate that bony increased stability. So it comes all the way up, he gets the 3. But now he's going to flex his knee to 30 degrees. That eliminates the screw-home mechanism. Right? So you're isolating now more just the quads. You think more than one person makes that mistake on the lab exam? Every semester. And I think I'm explaining it very clearly. Right? But you think there's some people who aren't here today? Yeah. And they're gonna make that mistake, people on the lab exam. Okay, so now I apply the brake test and let him develop tension and then slowly apply what you think is the appropriate amount of force based on his age, size, body build, etc. If you can't raise it up against gravity, you gotta lay on your side again. And now you start with your knee flexed. And now see if you can extend it. So now he gets a 2. Okay? If you can't move it, but I feel tension in the quads, that's a 1. Okay, now you can sit off the edge. We'll do the rotator cuff. So this is the Duke study, so you have this handout. You're gonna put him in 90 degrees of flexion, abduction, 45 degrees of horizontal adduction, and just as many people call that what? Horizontal flexion, right? Again, people, I think you should have both terms in your vocabulary, because some people are going to use one term, and just as many people are going to use the other term. So you need to know what they're talking about. And then you're going to do thumb up, what the Duke people called the full can position. So right about there, I'm going to try to push your arm down, don't let me, and he gets a 5 or a 4. If you can hold it there but no resistance, that's a 3. If you can't get it up to that position, so you got to lay back, put your arm at your side, and now abduct your arm out to the side. That's a 2. Okay, gravity's going to eliminate. Everybody good? Okay, now you can sit off again, and actually stand up and maybe face that wall so I can get. So put your arm in the small of your back. Now again, this is not against gravity, so this is not a true manual muscle test. But in the Duke study, this is where they found subscapularis work most efficiently, and all the other muscles that do internal rotation work minimally. So you lift your hand off the small of your back. So I'm going to call that a 3, and then I'm going to apply resistance. I'm going to try to push your hand back into your body, don't let me, and then I use the appropriate force. And if I want that, I can do that every time, right? Because you're not very strong back there. Okay, you can relax for a second. So that's subscapularis. Now, want me to show you how you do it against true manual muscle test? So lay on your back. Because this is what you're going to learn in PT school, whatever. So subscapularis is a medial rotator. So this is medial rotation. Everybody agree? Okay, so I'm going to abduct the shoulder to 90 degrees. This is medial rotation. Everybody agree? Now, that's all the way is medial rotation, but why don't I go all the way down? Gravity's helping. So you stop there. Say, I'm going to try to push your arm back. Don't let me. And he knows the appropriate muscles to contract. And that's a 5 or a 4. Okay? If he can't do it, if he can't raise it up, the gravity eliminated position, lean over, arm is externally rotated. See if you can internally rotate. That's a 2. Everybody good? So now the last one is infraspinatus teres minor. So according to the Duke people, if this is 0 in the 360, go 45 degrees internally rotated. I'm going to try to push your arm in further to your body. Don't let me. And he's contracting these external rotators. So he gets a 5 or a 4. Lay back down again. A true manual muscle test, again, this is lateral external rotation. Everybody agree? Abduct to 90. This is external rotation. But we're going to stop there. So I'm going to try to push your arm back down. Don't let me. That's a 5. He's done it against gravity. Gravity eliminated position. You lean over. Start with your hand internally rotated and see if you can externally rotate. That's a 2. Everybody good? So I'm going to show you the elbow taping now, but we have goniometers over there to practice. So that's the time it's going to be your time after I demonstrate the taping. So I need left or right? Front or back?